Hello friends, welcome to the platform of Darshanik. This is Akshay Kadam. So guys, today on this platform of Darshanik, we are going to continue our discussion. So guys, we are discussing the topic of syllabus, that is ethics and human interface, essence and dimensions of ethics. So in dimensions of ethics, there are three dimensions: meta, normative and descriptive ethics. Meta ethics we are discussing, and in meta ethics, there are four major debates, okay, in which we are discussing the debate of ground of moral status, okay. And in ground of moral status, we have already discussed that there are two major grounds of moral status, that is sentimentalism, okay, that anyone who gets should get moral status in ethics if he is capable of experiencing sentiment, emotions, okay, and higher order moral theorizing, where as a human being, as a actors, as a human being who has a capacity to think, okay, about why morality and ethics, then we should think about ethics and morality and apply it, okay, even to the other animals, birds, and even inanimate object, overall universe and ecosystem, okay. And so that's what we call higher order moral theorizing. So if we are agreed to these two grounds as a ground of moral status, then okay, why we allow killing of so many animals? Okay, so what is the moral status of animals? Should we kill animals? Okay, or do animals have any kind of rights? Should animal be given any rights? Okay, and so there are many laws like Wildlife Protection Act, Cruelty Towards Animals Act. ये laws भी है, and on one hand we don't allow cruelty, but on other hand we are allowing eating non-veg. So if you're eating non-veg, okay, how come then it is ethical and unethical? Okay, when we don't, we have laws like Cruelty Towards Animals Act, etc. So ये जो debates है, and to what extent we should give animal rights, and if we give animal rights, eating non-veg is bad, okay, then why we shouldn't hold lion, okay, accountable or guilty for killing a rabbit? Okay, so we'll start our discussion first with this basic doubt, okay, that why lion, when he kills a goat, and if non-veg eating is bad, okay, hurting other animals is bad, then should we hold lion accountable? Should we call lion unethical when he kills other animals? Okay, and so guys, we can't hold lion accountable for killing rabbit, okay, but human beings, when torture animals, should be held accountable, because in both the cases there is one logic or theory. ये theory, when we discuss one legendary thinker, Immanuel Kant, तो उस theory में Immanuel Kant has discussed एक one concept of freedom, reason and reason. So Immanuel Kant का जो कहना है, that we'll discuss in detail later on. Just I am introducing this topic now. कि what Immanuel Kant says, that before development of ethics and morality, okay, these subjects of ethics and morality, before development, you need two conditions: freedom and reason. Okay, and only when you have these two conditions, freedom and reason, we can expect the development of morality. We can expect moral actions. Simply to put it Kant in easiest words, someone puts gun on your head and asks you, okay, to eat non-veg or do something, then you don't have freedom, okay, in that situation, and so you will not be held accountable. Okay, you have been held hostage, you have been tortured, and you reveal the secret of your nation. You can't be held accountable because you wasn't enjoying the necessary degree of freedom. तो कोई भूखा बच्चा भी किसी दुकान से कोई चीज चोरी करता है, we can't hold him accountable because he wasn't enjoying freedom. Okay, he was under compulsion of his biology. He was hungry and he had no choice but to eat and survive. And if for that, if he stole something, we can't hold him accountable. So कांत का जो कहना था कि morality subject, ethics subject बाद में आएगा if only if the precondition is freedom and reason. If you have no freedom and no reason, then we can't expect the development of morality. और यही दो conditions separates the case that lion killing an animal, a rabbit, okay, we can't hold him accountable, but human killing a rabbit, we should hold human being accountable, because lion don't have the freedom. Okay, lion don't have choice to eat a vegetarian food. Lion was by nature designed to eat a non-vegetarian food. And so lion doesn't enjoy that freedom. He was under his biological compulsion. Okay, he has only biological will. He's totally determined by environment. His will is determined by environment. His actions are totally guided by his biology. And so, okay, it is just a beast with the biological determination who reacts to his biological demands, bodily needs, and he don't have that freedom, he don't have that reason to think that I am causing pain to other animal. Okay, he don't have that reason develop. His reason is totally biological. Okay, and his actions are not free. He's under compulsion of his bodily desire, and that's why when lion kills a rabbit, we can't hold accountable. But human being, on other hand, are an autonomous individual. We are free. We have option to eat a vegetarian food, okay, or eat something else. And not only we have freedom, okay, our actions, okay, are partly guided by our biology. Okay, like a lion, our actions are not totally biologically determined. Our willpower is not only biologically governed, our will is also governed by our divine reasoning, universal reasoning. We have capacity to think whether I should do this or shouldn't do this. We have ability to reason, we have brain. Okay, so इंसानों में freedom भी है and reason भी है, and then because okay, God has given us this freedom and reason, okay, or nature has given us freedom and reason, we have been made, okay, or developed or designed by the nature or God as a special animal. Okay, we are not like all other animals. We are a different animal, human being. Though human being is also an animal, we are a special animal. We have reason, we have freedom. Then we should use our autonomy, okay, and reason to act in a ethical manner, moral manner. And that's why ethics and morality as a subject only applies to human being, because only human being can think about morality, think about ethics, and think about the consequences of their action, can have alternative to choose this course of action or that course of action. Lion or all other animal don't have that freedom, don't have that reason, don't have that alternative. And that's why ethics and morality, according to Kant, applies only to human being. And because we are this special animal, okay, with the freedom and reason, then we have, according to Kant, a special burden to think about the consequences of our action. Okay, think about all other animals or all other people, other human beings, other species like animal, birds, etc. Or we have the responsibility, moral duty, you want to think about the entire universe, ecosystem, everything. And that's why then human beings should be held accountable, okay, for action. And that's why we are debating this debate, that as a human being, only we are capable of debating this, that should animal have rights. Okay, so basic point jo hai, do animal have rights? So there are two arguments now, guys, before we go in more technical arguments. Do animal have rights? And should we eat non-veg or eating veg, non-veg is good, bad, etc. तो उसमें दो जो oldest thoughts थे इंडिया में, one was Jainism, जिसमें there is a absolute non-violence. You can't even eat a meat of dead, even any kind of meat. Okay, there is a absolute non-violence. While Buddhism में was also one thought where Buddhism talked about non-violence, लेकिन उसमें no active violence. तो एक थोड़ा core difference है, argument है, that I will explain first. While in some religion like Christianity, Islam, etc., there is no debate whether we should eat veg, non-veg, etc. Hinduism में there is a debate. Jainism में absolute non-violence, no option, don't eat non-veg at all. अब महावीर का जो कहना था, that I will discuss first, एक argument I wanted to give you. तो महावीर के इसमें you can't eat non-veg at all. Okay, forget about eating non-veg. Even you shouldn't eat food at night. क्योंकि अगर रात में आप चूल्हा जलाते हो, then many insects will get attracted to the fire. They will die in the fire. So you are indirectly causing violence. So even you shouldn't eat food at night. There was extreme and absolute non-violence in Jainism. Even you can't eat a food or crops or fruits that grow under a soil, because all these crops, when we want to eat, like potato or all other these crops, then we are plucking them, uprooting them, and we are killing that entire plant. So we shouldn't even eat, okay, like onion or potato, etc., who grow, or carrot, etc., underground, because to consume them we have to kill the entire plant. It's not like we are plucking the fruit and plant survives or tree survives. Okay, like apple, even if you pluck a apple, okay, apple tree doesn't die. But in these crops, okay, or fruits who grow under the ground, we need to kill that entire plant. And so because of this, Jainism even doesn't allow or forbids, okay, eating those fruits. So Jainism, there is absolute non-violence. But Buddha also was talked about non-violence, was non-violence core part of his theory. But Buddhism में Buddha talked about Samyak Marg, middle path, while Jainism was ascetic morality, talked about a little bit extreme path. तो बुद्धा का भी कहना था that don't kill animals, don't torture animals, don't hurt animals, okay? But Buddha was okay with eating a non-veg. लेकिन Buddhism में eating non-veg was based on a condition that you can only eat meat of a dead animal. मरे हुए जानवर का, some lion or wild animal attacked some animal but couldn't take the animal with him, or वो animal is now dead and there, you did not kill the animal, it was killed by some wild animal, you did not actively murder, okay? So meat of a dead animal can be eaten, okay, as per in Buddhism. कोई जानवर पे कोई पेड़ गिर गया, lightning strike से मर गया, you did not kill that animal, so even if you eat a meat of that dead animal, it is allowed. So Buddhism में you shouldn't be doing active violence, don't kill the animal yourself, okay? While Jainism में no kind of violence. अब फिर Jainism ऐसा क्यों बोल रहा है? Because महावीर का कहना इतना ही था, okay, you can eat a meat of dead animal, but today, okay, ये जो eating a non-veg is a mentality. Today you enjoyed the meat of dead animal, now your tongue got a taste of a meat, your desire will increase, and this is the slippery path, okay? And this is a like criminal mentality महावीरा के लिए, that you enjoy the pain of other animal, other person. ये एक mentality है. You are enjoying a pain of animals. Today you started eating a meat of dead animal. Tomorrow you will start actively killing animals. Okay, maybe tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow you will start killing the human beings and start eating them. Or you may not kill human beings and eat them, but you will at least enjoy, okay, the pain of other human being. You might want to rob them, you might want to steal things from them. So for Mahavira, it is a slippery path. It's a mentality that will grow, and that's why absolute non-violence. Okay, so ये जो दो major thoughts थे India में, okay, both had their own positives and negatives. So about eating non-veg, whether it is ethical or unethical, one of the two oldest thoughts in India. अब एक और argument है कि फिर Islam Christianity में non-veg eating is totally allowed. Okay, so then, or it is not even a moral debate. So guys, I already told you, okay, that this ethics and morality we learn from a socializing agents, family, education, society, culture, religion, etc. But ये जो societal ethics है, religious ethics है, is also shaped by the surrounding environment, geography. Okay, later on I will be discussing with you two charts that where we learn morality from, where we learn ethics from. So there are 24 factors where we learn ethics, morality from. जिसमें society, culture, religion, family, media, textbook, novels, constitution, laws, large number of factors are there, and in which, okay, there is one factor that is geography. Okay, so geography is very important factor, and so majorly in Islam Christianity, this eating veg or non-veg is not a moral debate, because where they were born or grown, okay, in those regions like Middle East or Europe where Christianity, Islam flourished, okay, or got spread, वहाँ पे there wasn't a luxuriant vegetation, okay, and that's why अगर Prophet Muhammad or Jesus had made this eating vegetarian food as a compulsory law and eating non-veg as something unethical and forbidden it, then if they had forbade it, then the Islam Christianity might not have been able to spread even. All its followers would have died hungry, okay, because if there is no vegetarian food in surplus, it would be very hard to survive, okay. But Hinduism that flourished in India, you have very luxuriant vegetation, you have very huge supply of fruits, vegetable, milk, etc. And because of that, okay, automatically in India, we or Hinduism, we made, or Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, born and spread in India, this became the moral debate. And today, India is the largest exporter of fruits, vegetables, milk to this Middle East and European countries. And so, now in someone in Middle East and Europe, okay, will not die if he is a vegetarian. And that's why today they are also debating, okay, this debate about animal rights or organization like PETA who are fighting for animal rights, because, okay, technology has allowed, okay, this easy mobility or supply of these fruits, vegetables, etc. from India, China or other tropical countries, and that's why vegan movement are going on there. तो ये भी एक पॉइंट, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट याद रखना अबाउट ईटिंग वेज, नॉन वेज एटसेट्रा. अब उसमें और एक थॉट आई वांटेड टू गिव यू ऑफ गांधी. लाइक गांधी वॉज जैन, ही ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट एब्सोल्यूट नॉन वायलेंस. तो गांधी के हिसाब से गाइज इवन ड्रिंकिंग अ मिल्क ऑफ अ काउ वॉज अ वायलेंस. गांधी नेवर यूज टू ड्रिंक इवन अ मिल्क ऑफ अ काउ बिकॉज वो गाय का जो दूध है, गांधी यूज टू बिलीव दैट वो दूध बछड़े के लिए बना है, एंड बाय टेकिंग दैट मिल्क अवे from the cow and human beings when consume it, they are causing one way sin, okay, by depriving that गाय का बच्चा, okay, from the supply of mother's milk. So गांधी के लिए even drinking milk of a cow was a kind of violence. तो ये एक बेसिक आइडियाज याद रखना जो मेजर थॉट्स इन इंडिया अबाउट एनिमल राइट्स और स्पेशली ईटिंग वेज और नॉन वेज. So now we will debate this further more technically from ethics papers perspective. So do animals have rights? So guys, first we'll discuss argument in support. So do animal have rights? So yes guys, human beings are moral agents. So we should care for other human beings and so should care about the animals. Okay. So human beings are moral agents. That point I told you in the beginning. Human beings have responsibility as a moral agents. We have freedom, we have autonomy, we have ability to reason, think. Then we should think as a moral agents about morality and ethics or violation of rights of other human beings or every other species or of the entire universe, okay, itself. And so first argument that I have made already, the Kant ki jo argument thi, that human beings are the only moral agents, okay, and as a moral agents, then one should care for the other human beings. We should care about the other animals, okay, and that's why we should protect the rights of animals. We shouldn't hurt them, we shouldn't kill them, we shouldn't consume them as a non-veg. Then sentimentalism, this ground we have already discussed, that basic ground of moral status, that everyone who is capable of experiencing emotion, sentiment should be given rights, and animals, okay, may not have the rationality, animals may not be able to express their language, but animals have sentiments, okay. When we hit a stone to a dog, okay, it screams in a pain, so it has a consciousness which is capable of experiencing emotions, okay. And according to Mahavira, all animals, okay, human being, animal and birds are panchendriya, but there are also ekendriya, divendriya, tirendriya, chaurendriya. All these animals have consciousness, even germ worms have consciousness, and we should protect them or should not cause pain to those animals. So sentimentalism, so animal experience life similar enough to human being. They have the free will, okay, they have the sound mind, they have the consciousness, and just like human being, okay, they are also capable of all this sentimentalism, and we should protect the animals. Then so फिर चलो एनिमल को तो हम प्रोटेक्ट कर ले, we should protect the animals, and we should not hurt animals. But what if some conditions में man and animal are in conflict, okay, human rights and animal rights are in conflict, तो उस कंडीशन में क्या करें? अब इस कंडीशन में should we kill an elephant to save a human being? Okay, what are the arguments now? अमेरिका में केस हुआ था, एक जू में गुरिला था और एक बच्चा जू में गिर गया, और जब वो बच्चा वो जू में गिरा, okay, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड केम एंड ही शॉट डेड द गुरिला, okay. उसके बाद उस सिक्योरिटी गार्ड पे केस कर दी कुछ एनिमल राइट एक्टिविस्ट ने, व्हाई ही शॉट डेड द गुरिला, and he clearly said that kid's life I wanted to save and I saved the kid's life, I killed the gorilla. So guys, then and court, वो जो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड था, कोर्ट ने उसको जाने दिया, नॉट गिल्टी, ओके. सो व्हाट हैपन्स इन दिस केसेस? सो पहले एक याद रखना गाइज कि इथिक्स और मोरालिटी में एक बेसिक प्रिंसिपल है सेल्फ प्रिजर्वेशन, ओके. एवरीवन शुड प्रिजर्व हिज ओन लाइफ, and everyone then automatically should preserve his own species, his or life of his own species first. So we have agreed this in ethics and morality. We have made this social norm, okay, that when human rights and animal rights come in conflict, human rights are supreme over the animal rights, okay. And that's why when security guard, even endangered species like gorilla, he shot it dead to save the baby, we can't hold security guard accountable because he simply acted on one natural principle, self-survival, self-preservation. Okay, so every animal will try to self-survive, self-preserve, and same way human being should also have right for self-defense, self-survival or self-preservation of their own species. तो इसलिए when man and human rights come in conflict, human rights stand okay higher. और इस चीज का ही थोड़ा extended reasoning फिर बन जाता है. Okay, and that will solve your major question that why we allow eating non-veg. Okay, simply logic इतना ही है guys, that when we eat a non-veg, okay, there is a matter of a survival. We are consuming animal as a food. Okay, तो फिर lion also eats a rabbit, तो human being also eating another animal. Then when you are eating that animal as a food, it's a matter of self-survival, okay, self-preservation. And so when it is a matter of self-survival and self-preservation, then you can eat animals, and that's why governments allow, okay, this non-veg eating or killing of animals in the hotel industry or at home, etc. Okay, but at the same time, government has a law, okay, Cruelty Towards Animals Act. You can't torture animals for a fun. If you are doing cruelty against animals, okay, you will be held accountable and you will be jailed for doing that unethical thing. तो लॉजिक इतना ही है गवर्नमेंट का, ओके, कि कोई जानवर है तो उसको मार के खाओ, दैट विल बी अलाउड, ओके, बट इफ यू टॉर्चर दैट एनिमल यू विल बी जेल्ड. अब ये ऐसा ट्विस्टेड लॉजिक इसलिए है, वी हैव क्रूएल्टी टुवर्ड्स एनिमल्स एक्ट बट वी अलाउ ईटिंग नॉन वेज, because when we eat, it's a matter of survival, self-preservation, and survival, self-preservation is very natural natural mentality even in human being or all other animals. Okay, and that's why when lion eats a rabbit, it is eating for self-survival, self-preservation. Okay, human beings eat, it's a self-survival, self-preservation ka issue. Okay, and when human and animal rights come in conflict, then generally human rights are considered higher than the animal rights in such a situation. तो बेसिकली अभी इतना फ्रेमवर्क याद रखना, ऑल दिस आर्ग्यूमेंट्स, और यही आपको सीखना है बाय द एंड ऑफ इथिक्स पेपर, ऑल दिस आर्ग्यूमेंट्स, एंड यू हैव टू यूज ऑल दिस आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन योर आंसर राइटिंग. सो इसलिए गाइस, लर्न टेक्निकल कंटेंट. Okay, don't study or read some masala content, sensational content, it's of no use. Okay, take these exams seriously, and if you want good marks, then study good content and write good content. Now, so animal have rights, moral status अब क्या है उनका? So we already discussed that animals should have the rights, that we agreed, because they are capable of experiencing sentiments, and as a moral agents we have the responsibility to take care of and preserve the nature. But उसके बाद there are some other arguments you should know, that human rights override the animal rights in time. So this argument I told you, okay, that human rights overrides the animal rights in time. But third argument क्या है? Animal rights override human rights in space. ये लॉजिक मैं बाद में बताता हूं. So in general, in time, if any human and animal comes in conflict, human rights and animal rights come in conflict, then we should protect the human rights. Okay, तो गोरिल्ला वो जू में बच्चा गिरा, then generally to save a baby we kill the gorilla. Okay, या कोई wild conflict होता है between wild animal and human being, then we protect the human beings. So human beings' rights are higher than animal rights, and that's why we eat an animal for a non-veg consumption. It will be allowed. Okay, and so animal rights can be violated on a grounds of self-protection and self-preservation for humans, and that's why eating non-veg for survival as a food is allowed, but torturing animal for fun can be punishable offense. And that's why we have Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, under which you can't torture animals, but consumption is allowed. Then next argument is animal rights override human rights in space. In space, animal rights are more supreme than human rights. So for example, आपके national parks, zoo, etc. So guys, in national park, zoo, which are restricted place created by the law, and national park are the most protected places. So yes, human rights are supreme than animal rights in time, but in space like national park, zoo, wildlife sanctuaries, in this region we generally prioritize the animal rights. Okay, तो आप कहीं पे भी नेक्स्ट टाइम किसी नेशनल पार्क में घूमने जाओ, व्हेन यू बाय टिकट उसके पीछे पढ़ो, क्लियर कट ऐसा लिखा होता है दैट यू आर एंटरिंग द नेशनल पार्क और दैट वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी ऑन योर ओन रिस्क. ओके, एंड अगर वहां पे कुछ भी होता है, दैट गवर्नमेंट और अथॉरिटीज वोंट बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल, अकाउंटेबल, ओके, बिकॉज दिस एनिमल राइट्स वहां पे वी आर प्रोटेक्टिंग और प्रायोरिटाइज द एनिमल राइट्स. So because this is a restricted space, reserved space, and laws can be made in space, your fundamental rights also can be curtailed in a space, not in time. अब ये चीज याद रखना, like ये argument. See, non-veg खाओ या ना खाओ, your fundamental right. Government can't tell you, religion can't tell you, मान लिया. But laws can be made that Mathura is holy city, so no non-veg will be allowed to be sold in Mathura by any hotel owner. Or no non-veg will be allowed to cook in Mathura, or you can't bring non-veg in Mathura का वो border area. So Mathura can be a holy place where non-veg won't be allowed. But कोई मथुरा का आदमी if wants to go outside Mathura and eat non-veg, you will have to allow that. Okay, you can't stop that, and that's why okay this non-veg eating जो मैंने इस तरह से स्पेस पे लॉ बन सकते हैं. Same way, Makkah, Medina are holy places, so non-Muslims won't be allowed. Law can be made because Makkah, Medina is space. Laws can be made in space. Okay? किसी मॉस्क के आजू बाजू दारू की दुकानें अलाउड नहीं करेंगे. Laws can be made in space. यहाँ पे कोई फंडामेंटल राइट का वायलेशन नहीं है. Every fundamental right can be curtailed, okay, on some reasonable, on a grounds of some reasonable restrictions. Same way, आर्मी का कोई एरिया है, प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया. You can't say I have fundamental right to go into आर्मी का वो secure secret zone. No. Even army people will shoot you dead, okay, if you try to infiltrate वो आर्मी का प्रोटेक्टेड जोन्स एरियाज, ओके, या सिक्योर जो बेसिस है, मिलिट्री बेसिस एक्सेट्रा. सेम वे, सो वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी एक्सेट्रा, दीज आर द स्पेशल प्लेसेस वी क्रिएटेड टू प्रोटेक्ट दोज एनिमल्स. ओके, देन ओके वहां पे एनिमल राइट्स विल सुपरसीड और ओवरराइड द ह्यूमन राइट्स. ओके, एंड देन प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज, ये भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज. ओके, ये भी एक ग्राउंड है कि चलो होटल्स में भी जो नॉनवेज ईटिंग गवर्नमेंट अलाउ करता है वो किसका, पोल्ट्री एनिमल्स लार्जली. यू कैन गो एंड से लाइक चाइना, ओके, कि सर्व मी अ स्नेक टुडे. सो वी ओनली अलाउ द कंजम्पशन ऑफ पोल्ट्री एनिमल्स, नॉट ऑल अदर एनिमल्स. एंड फॉर all other animals who are endangered species, it is our moral responsibility as a moral agent, as a stewards, okay, stewardship का law या principle, that we are active autonomous agents who could reason and think, okay, and human don't get acted by the nature, we act on the nature, then we have that extra responsibility. जो कांत ने कहा था, human beings are the animals with who had a special burden on them, special animals with special burden to protect and think about the world. तो कोई species अगर endangered है, then we have a burden as a human being that we should protect that endangered species, try to save those endangered species, and that's why we create these national parks, zoos, etc. and provide them extra protection. So for those endangered species के rights में human rights can be suppressed or can be considered secondary. Okay, so protection of endangered species. So principle of stewardship emphasizes that humans have a duty to care for and preserve the natural world. We have duty to care for the natural world, preserve the natural world. We can only think about the natural world, care about the natural world, okay, and that's why we have that moral obligation to care and protect the natural world, and so we have obligation to protect the endangered species, okay, and is seen as a part of fulfilling this obligation. So we have this protecting endangered species as a special obligation. And to fulfill that obligation, we have created some regulations like Wildlife Protection Act 1972, okay, या टाइगर प्रोटेक्शन के लिए जो एक्ट्स बने, या नेशनल पार्क्स वगैरह के लिए जो स्पेशल प्रिविलेजेस, ऑल दिस. सो इन दिस केसेस वी प्रायोरिटाइज ह्यूमन राइट्स ओवर एनिमल राइट्स ओवर ह्यूमन राइट्स. ओके, तो ये थोड़ी डिबेट्स याद रखना, दैट मोरल स्टेटस एनिमल्स केस में क्या क्या डिबेट है. एंड उसमें गाइज बिफोर देन कंक्लूडिंग, एक लास्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट दैट आई वांटेड टू गिव यू. ये बहुत डिबेटेबल आर्ग्यूमेंट है कि चलो नॉनवेज ईटिंग में भी पोल्ट्री एनिमल्स को भी क्यों मारे हम, दैट शुडंट वी बी प्रोटेक्टिंग दिस पोल्ट्री एनिमल्स ऑल्सो. तो पॉइंट इतना ही है गाइज कि जस्ट वी आर वेजिटेरियन और सम पीपल आर वेजिटेरियन, देर इज नो वायलेंस इन्वॉल्व इज अ वेरी प्रॉब्लमेटिक थिंग आर्ग्यूमेंट टू मेक. बिकॉज गाइज समटाइम्स इवन वेजिटेरियन actions guys producing vegetarian food rather kills more animals or lives than the eating non-vegetarian food. Because when you do agriculture, you till the land, you plow the land. This tilling process or plowing the land, okay, there are so many ants, we kill them. So many insects, germs, worms in the soil, that we kill them. We expect the flora fauna which is under the soil. When we do the vegetation, we remove the vegetation, we kill so many lives. Okay, so when we kill animal, okay, goat or a poultry chicken, okay, we are killing one, but when we are doing vegetation, we are killing lakhs of lives then that we can't see. So फिर morality में should we only care about the animals whose pain we can see, but what about those germs, worms, insect, ants, or that all the vegetations that we destroyed, that flora fauna we destroyed, we used chemicals, pesticide, and it killed furthermore germs, worms, bacteria and insects. Okay, even sparrows who ate that fruits sprayed with pesticide, insecticides. So many animals get killed directly, indirectly, even when consume vegetarian food. तो इसलिए नॉन-वेज फूड में ही ज़्यादा वायलेंस है एंड वेजिटेरियन फूड डजंट हैव वायलेंस इज अ वेरी डिबेटेबल आर्ग्यूमेंट. ओके, हैज नो सॉलिड बेसिस. ओके, एंड वेजिटेरियन फूड मे बी इक्वली और मे बी किल्स मोर लाइव्स देन द नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड. और इसलिए आज तक इसका कोई रिजोल्यूशन नहीं है इस डिबेट का दैट नॉन-वेज फूड इज ईटिंग नॉन-वेज इज मोर वायलेंट देन ईटिंग वेजिटेरियन फूड. सेम वे गाइज, ये भी एक आर्ग्यूमेंट है कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एटसेट्रा, ये जो बीफ इंडस्ट्री चलती है यूरोप वगैरह में, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट बीफ इंडस्ट्री दे कट लॉट ऑफ ट्रीज टू ग्रो और टू रन दिस बीफ इंडस्ट्री, एक ग्रेजिंग के लिए, एनिमल के ग्रोथ के लिए. तो ये बहुत सारे फॉरेस्ट डिस्ट्रॉय हो रहे हैं ब्राजील, अर्जेंटीना वगैरह में, इकोसिस्टम डैमेज हो रही है, इससे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रहा है. तो ये भी एक आर्ग्यूमेंट है. बट एक आर्ग्यूमेंट ये भी है कि यूरोप के जो लोग हैं या जहाँ पे बहुत कोल्डर क्लाइमेट है, वहाँ पे व्हेन यू रन अ वेगन मूवमेंट, तो उनको जो वीगन फूड सप्लाई करना है, ओके, व्हेन यू आर सप्लाइंग दैट वेगन फूड लाइक वेजिटेबल, फ्रूट्स, मिल्क टू दोज कंट्रीज, ये ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, शिपिंग, इसमें जो पोल्यूशन हो रहा है, ओके, उससे भी तो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रहा है. ओके, काफी रादर मोर ग्लोबल वार्मिंग इज हैपनिंग. सो यूरोप के लोग अगर वो नॉन वेज ही खाए ना, दे आर डूइंग मच मोर फेवर टू द नेचर, ओके, रादर दैन बट शिपिंग सो मेनी कंटेनर्स ऑफ फूड डेली, ओके, टू सो मेनी कंट्रीज इन द कोल्डर रीजन्स. ओके, जो इतना शिपमेंट डेली जा रहा है, उससे जो एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन हो रहा है वो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग कर रहा है, और उससे देन देयर इज मोर डिजास्टर इज हैपनिंग ऑन द नेचर. तो ये जो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स है, okay, इसमें both the sides are very solid, and that's why there is no conclusive debate in those in this man-human conflict or global warming and vegetarian food or veg non-veg में which is more violent. And that's why अभी तक meta ethics में lot of questions are unanswered, these higher level questions, and yet even they are unanswered, and we don't have the clear solution to that. But just a food for thought. Okay, one solution might change this debate totally, and you try thinking, right, एक homework ले लो ये for you, कि create arguments in support against, yeah, what's your viewpoint, that's word में लिखो. If tomorrow we able to produce artificial meat, today we have the proteins, okay, that we harvest from plants also, but today we are going about doing research, and suppose tomorrow in laboratory we able to produce the artificial meat, okay, then what about should we allow that? What are ethical and unethical implications in that? तो ये आपके लिए होमवर्क लेना, थोड़ा रिसर्च करना, and study arguments from both the sides. Okay, and you can also send those arguments to me on WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number 9552268658. Okay, and I will evaluate those arguments, will give you feedback. अब इसमें गाइस कुछ, जब मैं ऑफलाइन क्लास लेता हूं तो बहुत सारी डिबेट हो पाती है स्टूडेंट्स के साथ. सो आई आस्क स्टूडेंट्स, मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, कि दोज हु डोंट ईट नॉन वेज टू रेज देयर हैंड्स. मेनी रेज देयर हैंड, एंड आई टेल यू, एंड वी हैव इवन डिस्कस दिस इन इथिक्स मोरालिटी डिबेट. और वो जो स्टूडेंट्स है वो रेज हैंड दैट दे डोंट ईट नॉन वेज. आई आस्क देम व्हाई डोंट यू ईट नॉन वेज, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ देम से आई डोंट ईट नॉन वेज बिकॉज my family doesn't allow, my caste doesn't allow, etc. So I told you, you don't eat non-veg because family caste says so. You are being ethical, not moral. बट कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि आई डोंट ईट नॉनवेज बिकॉज इट वॉज वेरी पेनफुल व्हेन आई सॉ एनिमल बीइंग मर्डर्ड. अब ये आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आर नॉट द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन इथिक्स. आई टोल्ड यू बिकॉज यू आर सेइंग किलिंग एनिमल इज पेनफुल. Okay, I saw that and it was very painful. So guys, tomorrow if we develop more peaceful method to kill animal, should we allow that? Okay, ये argument problematic हो जाती है फिर. Okay, so your argument should not be so easily get nullified. जो भी आप पेपर में आंसर राइटिंग में बना रहे हो. Some say that as long as there are other alternatives are available for human beings, okay, to eat vegetarian food, then why eat a non-vegetarian food? Okay, so इसका logic ये भी एक्सटेंड होता है. बिकॉज अल्टरनेटिव्स आर अवेलेबल वी शुड ईट वेजिटेरियन फूड. सो व्हाट इफ टुमारो अल्टरनेटिव्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल? इफ टुमारो अल्टरनेटिव्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल वी शुड स्टार्ट ईटिंग नॉनवेज फूड. सो एनिमल के राइट्स आर डिपेंड ऑन दिस कंडीशन. ओके, एंड व्हेन यू विल स्टडी कांत यू विल रियलाइज ओके दैट मोरालिटी इज नॉट कंडीशनल. मोरालिटी हैज टू बी अनकंडीशनल. और यही वो कंसेप्ट सिखाता है कांत, एंड दैट विल स्टडी इन डिटेल. वेरी ऑसम, द बेस्ट कंसेप्ट इन इथिक्स पेपर. और ये मेरे कोर्स में जो सबसे बेस्ट कंसेप्ट आप पढ़ोगे दैट इज कंसेप्ट ऑफ हाइपोथेटिकल इंपेरेटिव एंड कैटेगोरिकल इंपेरेटिव. और ये जो हाइपोथेटिकल इंपेरेटिव है, कांत इनको कंडीशनल इंपेरेटिव बोलता है. ये आप कंडीशनल मोरालिटी है कि दूसरे फूड इज अवेलेबल, अल्टरनेटिव फूड सोर्सेज आर अवेलेबल, सो डोंट ईट नॉनवेज. कांत का ये कहना था, जब कंडीशन गायब तो मोरालिटी गायब. व्हेन अल्टरनेटिव इज नॉट अवेलेबल यू विल स्टार्ट ईटिंग द नॉनवेज. Same way, it was painful to kill animals, and so it is painful to kill animals. Animal feel pain, and so we shouldn't kill animal. So tomorrow, if you have peaceful method to kill animals, then we will start eating non-veg. So animal ke rights are depend on condition that it causes pain, and your morality should not be conditional, hypothetical. Kant says your morality should be unconditional. So a tough concept hai, but the best concept that we will study when we will discuss Kant. So that's all for now. Okay. And stay tuned for the next lecture where we will discuss the debate on abortion rights.